taxes on property relations with discussions on property relations para mas makita natin, no? So, nabanggit natin kanina, no? Our recall of the property relations na pinag-usapan natin last time, si conjugal partnership of gains, si absolute community of property, at yung complete separation of property. So, merong ibig sabihin, merong difference kapag ang ating namatay ay married or unmarried. Kung unmarried, medyo mas madali ang buhay natin. Why? Because we don't have to ask whether the properties are exclusive or conjugal or communal community property. So, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see that the computation is straightforward for an unmarried decedent. Ganito lang siya, di ba? Lahat ng mga real properties niya, tangible personal property, intangible personal property, that would make up the gross estate. Tapos, kukunin natin lahat ng deductions, ordinary deductions, that would be your light, yung losses, indebtedness, okay? Taxes and other expenses. Tapos, yung transfers for public use and vanishing deduction, i-deduct natin yan. Total mo yan lahat ordinary deductions, and then total mo rin lahat ng special deductions. The special deductions natin would be the standard deduction and the family home. And of course, the amount received under RA 4917. Okay. Once you have that, multiply it by estate tax rate of 6%. That's your estate tax due. And if there's any tax credit, deduct the tax credit. For a married decedent, meron ka talaga ganitong ipa-plot. Dapat meron kang exclusive property tsaka community property. Okay, lahat ng exclusive ilagay mo dun sa exclusive at lahat ng community or conjugal property ilagay mo sa conjugal property. Bakit? Kasi mamaya, yung total mo dito sa net estate before share of surviving spouse, ito, nasa dulo, gagamitin mo yan kasi para makompute mo yung 50% at makuha mo yung net taxable estate of the decedent. Huwag mo munang itatax yung asawa kasi buhay pa. Yung decedent na lang muna. Ha? Kaya, i-deduct natin yung 50% share. Pero kung titingnan mo yung format, ganun pa rin naman. It's just that, titingnan mo kung alin dyan ang papunta sa conjugal or community property at alin dun yung sa exclusive para makuha mo yung net. At makuha mo yung total. Yun yung babasihan mo ng estate tax. Okay? Para makuha mo yung estate tax due and then, of course, the estate tax credit. So, tandaan mo lang yung format na yan. Kung familiar ka sa mga deductions, hindi mahirap sa'yo. At I suggest, medyo i-familiarize mo yung sarili mo dito sa format para wala kang makaligtaan. Ang nadagdag lang dito sa married decedent, okay, is kung ano yung nasa conjugal partnership of gains or absolute community of property. Okay? Lagi mong iano kasi yan. Titingnan mo dito yung vanishing deduction. Ito, vanishing deduction, straightforward kasi hindi mo naman tatanungin kung conjugal or community property. But for a married decedent, kailangan alamin mo. Okay? It's going to be the same, yung mga standard deduction, family home, at saka yung amount received under for RA 4970. Okay? So, we will have to discuss the compliance requirement. Ang sabi dito, estate tax return in all cases, subject to estate tax, okay? Regardless of the amount of the gross estate where it comes, okay? Or registrable property such as real property, motor vehicle, shares of stocks, or other similar property for which a certificate authorizing registration from the BIR, okay, is required as a condition precedent for the transfer of ownership thereof in the name of the transferee. Ibig sabihin, wala pong matatransfer na property kung hindi po natin bayad yung tax at hindi na-release yung car. Certificate authorizing registration, hindi po matatransfer dun sa next owner. Transfer of ownership thereof in the name of the transferee, the administrator or the executor or any of the legal heirs. Heirs po yan, H-E-I-R-S, as this case may be, shall file a return under oath. Okay, there should be a CPA certification which is required if the gross estate exceeds 5 million if the decedent died on or after January 1, 2018. The CPA certification shall contain the composition of the gross estate, the allowable deductions claimed, and the estate tax due. Okay? Sino po ang magfa-file? Okay, who shall file? The executor administrator. It's the primary person who will file, and any of the legal heirs would be the secondary person. Okay? To comply. In case of a resident decedent, authorized agent bank, where to file sa authorized agent bank, revenue district officer, collection officer, a duly authorized treasurer of the city or municipality, if in which the decedent was domiciled at the time of his death. Ito, applicable lang to kung wala talagang BIR ang area. But if there is, dun ka talaga sa, kung walang BIR, sunod ka sa revenue district officer or sa collection officer at least. Sa last option na yan. In order of priority to. Pero most of the progressive areas naman ngayon, meron ng authorized agent banks. Okay? By the way, all this that we're discussing can also be found in the Bureau of Internal Revenue's website. So, kung hindi ka nakapag-screenshot or tingin mo mabilis, you can just go to www.bir.gov.ph, search for the topic on estate taxation. Updated po yung website nila. Nandun po yan. Okay? Where to file in case of a non-resident decedent? Of course, RDO, where the executor administrator is registered, or RDO having jurisdiction over the executor administrator's legal residence. And of course, Office of the BIR Commissioner, if the estate does not have an executor administrator in the Philippines. When to file? Kapag train law, sabi natin 1 year after under the train law. Pag before the train law, 6 months, no? And then extension can be given by the commissioner or his or her duly authorized representative. Okay, shall have the authority to grant in meritorious cases. Okay, a reasonable extension not exceeding 30 days, okay, for filing the return. When to pay, of course, estate tax shall be paid at the time the return is made. Okay, pay as you file. When the commissioner finds that the payment of the estate tax or any part thereof would impose undue hardship upon the estate or any of the heirs, he may extend the time for payment as follows. So, pwede po ang settlement, the estate is settled extrajudicially, 2 years. If the estate is settled judicially, 5 years. Wala pong 30 years. Okay? So, medyo mahirap kung matagal na talagang namatay at hindi pa nasisettle. Kasi under the law, ito lang po ang allowable extension. Ito, with the permission pa to ng commissioner. Ha? Any of its representative would impose any hardship, pwede lang po i-extend for 2 years kapag extrajudicial. And if it's judicial settlement, kasi medyo mabagal din ang usad ng settlement through the courts, kasi judicial settlement, it could last up to 5 years or at least the allowable is 5 years. The application for extension shall be filed within the RDO when the estate is required to secure the TIN and file the estate tax return. So the estate itself, magkakaroon po siya ng sarili niyang tax identification number or TIN. Okay, ito po ay provisions po. Okay? This application shall be approved by the CIR or his or her duly authorized representative. So bibigyan po ng sariling TIN yung estate nung namatay, the decedent. Where the request for extension is by reason of negligence, intentional disregard of the rules and regulations, or fraud, an extension shall be granted. If an extension is granted, the CIR may require the executor, administrator, or beneficiary to furnish a bond in such amount not exceeding, okay, amount of the tax and with such sureties as the commissioner deems necessary. conditioned upon the payment of the said tax in accordance with terms of the extension. So, pwede pero mayroong bond. Meron siyang bond na pabayad kung ang extension. Kung ang extension is due to the negligence, intentional disregard of the rules and regulations. Estate tax shall be paid at the time when the return is filed. Again, pay as you file. Okay, some common questions that you may have. In case of insufficiency of cash for the immediate payment of the total tax due, the estate tax may be allowed to pay, or the estate may be allowed to pay the estate tax due through the following options, including corresponding terms. Ito po ay nasa Revenue Regulation 12-2018, cash installment or partial disposition of estate of the application of its proceeds and application of its proceeds to the estate tax due. Okay, may dalawang option po siya. Tapos yung installment, pwede monthly. For cash installment, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually. Of course, all this with the permission and approval of the BIR. Okay? Okay, let's have another exercise related to this. Okay, I'll now stop sharing. I will now assign you another work or task in your classroom. Please